Hi everyone, it's WABC Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg, and this is Wake Up Weather or Not for your stormy Thursday. We're on ABC7 NY, and we're on TikTok as well as we deliver the forecast on multiple platforms. Your weather or not is multifaceted in terms of the impact. We have to talk about initially some rain and snow, and then some powerful winds that usher in some bitter cold. So the sequence is going from these rain and snow showers that could slow you down in the morning commute, even with a few squalls in spots, especially just north and west, a heavier snow shower that briefly reduces visibility, maybe puts down coatings, mostly on colder surfaces if it would be close to New York City, but in the nearby northwest suburbs, it could cause some slick spots. So just be aware of that for your morning commute. The overall liquid amounts for this particular system, not all that great. They typically aren't when you talk about a clipper system. Maybe it's below 1/4 of an inch, 1/10 of an inch for most areas. But this is getting enhanced and strengthening as it's departing. So I do think we'll have some higher totals well north and west, and also over parts of Connecticut and eastern Long Island, where we could exceed 1/2 inch, maybe even go to 3/4 of an inch of liquid. And a lot of that would be in the form of some beneficial rainfall. The impact of this system. First thing in the morning would be slick roads, maybe some low visibility. But then the big part that affects the entire area going to be these very strong winds that could cause some scattered power outages with some downed tree limbs. And also, if you have holiday decorations, anything you've left outside that's not secure, that can get blown around, because these wind gusts are not just your measly 20, 30 mile per hour gusts. We're talking 50, 55 mile per hour gusts a possibility, and that could be damaging. The other thing is the falling temperatures. So these are colder winds. This is an Arctic air mass coming in. So we'll see temperatures that start the day around 40 and then just drop through the 30s during the day. Your feel-like readings are in the teens and 20s as we go through the afternoon hours. Let's look at the futurecast. First thing is 7 in the morning. We've got the Arctic front approaching. So there are rain and snow showers scattered about. But if you notice, there are some heavier snow showers that are indicated by this futurecast. This one isn't as bullish as it has been on those snow showers, but I would just be aware that you could have a brief heavier shower where visibility is reduced. Once we get to late morning, I don't anticipate a lot of rain and snow showers around the area. They're probably north and west. Now it's more about the wind getting gusty. We get the sunshine out, but we'll need every bit of it, even just to see temperatures hold for a little while. But they'll likely plummet during the afternoon hours, and we'll have those gusty winds. As we go into Friday morning, our numbers are going to be sub-freezing. Our winds are still gusty, and it feels like single digits in teens. By afternoon, it's a mix of sun and clouds, and we're just in the 30s with our coldest air of the season. Again, looking at the overall liquid amounts, couple tenths maybe in New York City, hundredths everywhere else, but look at how it ramps up. The front is strengthening as it's going over us, and we're getting some enhancement off the Atlantic and off the Sound, maybe 1/4 inch in Bridgeport, but 1/2 an inch to 3/4 of an inch across Suffolk County. So kind of your private soaking in Suffolk County for a change. So in terms of snowfall totals, not a lot, but even a coating can make things slick. Figure north of I-80 in New Jersey, north and west of I-287, we could have a coating to 1 inch of snow. You get into northern Fairfield County, maybe toward Danbury, we're in the 1 to 3 inch category. And then when we talk about the Catskills, especially above, let's say, 2,000 feet, we could see 3, maybe even some isolated totals that go up to 6 inches of snow. So an impactful storm there. In terms of overall alerts, you're looking at gusts that can go past 50 miles an hour during the day. So a wind advisory up for most of Thursday. We talked about the potential for power outages, and again, secure those holiday decorations if you can. The winds on Thursday morning could already wake you up. We have winds that are gusting over 30 miles an hour. But it's really by midday and early afternoon we start to see those wind gusts, especially along the coast, start to top 40 miles an hour and maybe even near 50 miles an hour as we go through the lunch hour. So those winds are whipping out of the west, and during the afternoon hours, they're still rather gusty. Remember, that's Arctic air that's coming in. We're still brisk into the day on Friday. It's only late in the day and into the evening hours that we start to see the winds relax. The core of the cold air is over us Friday into early Saturday. So wind chills by Thursday afternoon are in the upper 20s, even teens north and west. Wake-up wind chills on Friday are single digits in teens, the coldest of the season by far. So it's bitter and blustery on Friday. On Saturday, it looks like this clipper continues to trend with more of a northern track. So I don't think we're going to see any precipitation. We're probably going to be dry all weekend long. A mix of sun and clouds. And after a cold morning, it's not as harsh as we go through the afternoon hours. Then on Sunday, we got more of a southwest wind building. Looks like a mix of sun and clouds. We could be in the mid-40s by the end of the day. And at that point, we're starting to get milder and moisture starting to come out of the Gulf. So if this front can tap that moisture and then the front kind of stalls nearby early next week, we might be in store of rounds of rainfall starting later Monday and maybe lasting into Tuesday and Wednesday. The details are still a little hazy on that, but I do think we'll definitely have some rain in store and hopefully some beneficial rain as we go into next week. That brings us to the extended forecast. Rain and milder conditions as we go into next week. And even the cool downs that I'm seeing aren't really as harsh as what we're going to get later this week. See the big trough or dip in the jet stream? Air source region coming from the Arctic. That's pouring in on Friday, the core of it through Saturday morning. By the time we get to the end of the weekend and early next week, now we're getting more of a southwest flow out of the Pacific across the southern tier of the country. We're leaning toward more rain. Now, there is a cold pocket that comes in mid and late week next week, but notice how the core of the Arctic air is to the north. This is more of a hybrid air mass where there's some polar air in here. There's even a little Pacific, so I don't think it's too far from normal at that point. And in fact, it looks like more Pacific air may try to come in the following weekend. So if you just look at the 10-day trend, we've got the Arctic blast through the first part of the weekend. We moderate. We might be raining in the 50s on Tuesday. Even when we drop off, we're only around 40 late next week, and then we start rebounding again. So it's more above normal pattern with little cold surges that don't last too long. The Climate Prediction Center, the 12th through the 18th of December, is back to a strong signal for above normal temperatures. But how about precipitation? Near normal. It does look like we're in a pattern where we're getting opportunities for precipitation every few days or so, which is great because we still have severe to extreme drought across the area. There will be a new drought monitor issue on Thursday that will pass along, but we're running nearly 23% below normal levels with our reservoirs. So although we've gotten some rain recently, we need more. We're getting a little bit here in the terms of the precipitation on Thursday morning, but overall dry through the weekend. Hopefully we get multiple rounds of rain as we go into the beginning of next week. Here's your AccuWeather forecast. 39 degrees at 7 in the morning. So for commuters, there will be rain and snow showers around, and there might be a few spotty snow squalls. I don't think we're talking widespread, but you could be running into a place where it's not doing much. You're driving on a particular roadway, let's say in the Hudson Valley, and all of a sudden you run into lower visibility and you get a couple of slick spots and it can get challenging or dangerous. So just be aware of that. Here's what it looks like on the planner. We've got your rain and snow showers early, dropping temperatures, gusty winds, and clouds breaking for a little sunshine. So our winds will be really powerful as we go through the midday and afternoon hours. Some gusts to 50, potentially damaging winds. So for instance, if you're picking a travel route, maybe stay out of the thinner wooded parkways that you might go, whether it be like the Sawmill Parkway, if you could choose maybe the Sprain, or you head down through the Taconic, some of the bigger roadways, because some of those wooded roadways you might have some more tree limbs and may tend to be a little bit more dangerous, challenging. Definitely something I always do when I'm looking at my routes. 29 degrees tomorrow night, blustery and cold, feels like teens, partly cloudy skies. And here's your 7-day AccuWeather forecast. So we have the AccuWeather alert on Thursday, gets gusty, of course, during the afternoon, powerful winds. It is still bitter and blustery on Friday, 35. On Saturday, cold, but by afternoon not as harsh. A milder afternoon on Sunday, and then by Monday, clouds are increasing, probably some rain by late day or at least midday on. And then it looks like rain will probably linger on Tuesday. I think the front is stalling on or just to our south, so it's going to be a close call, but I think we'll get a few rounds of rain into midweek next week before we dry out late week. That's the way your forecast is shaping up. I appreciate you watching Whether or Not, as always, whether it was on ABC7 and Y, or on your favorite podcast platform, or on TikTok. We're glad you joined us. We'll see you next time on Whether or Not, Rain or Shine.